Are we going to sit here and expect that the community, the worldwide community in general, they show us their support as they have been showing? But is this what we're going to suffice with? Is this what we're going to be content with? Or are you going to use this opportunity to present your faith and your beliefs and who you are and what you stand for to the world whose attention you now have captured? In the 6th year of the Hijrah, he intended to perform Umrah. And in intending to perform Umrah, those of us who have read and are aware of his seerah, he was prevented from entering the city of Mecca, which was something unheard of, by the way, at that time, that Mecca was considered a sanctuary. So everybody had a free pass in Mecca. Enemies would worship side by side in Mecca, yet for some reason, the inhabitants of Mecca prevented the Prophet ﷺ and his companions from entering the city. So, at that time they thought it was a loss. In the grand scheme of things, in the plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that was not a loss. And we remind ourselves, my brothers and sisters, that although we grieve for the people who so senselessly lost their lives on that day, during that terrorist attack, as a community of believing people, we don't grieve for them the fact that they lost their lives. Because we understand and we know that you and I, we all must leave this world one day. And those individuals in the state of prayer, the Prophet, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says inside the Holy Quran, وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ قُتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ أَمْوَاتًا بَلْ أَحْيَاءٌ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ يُرْزَقُونَ. That you should not for a moment think that those who lose their lives in the path of God, they are dead, but they are alive with their Lord and they are being provided their sustenance there. So my brothers and sisters, although we grieve with the families for the people that they lost, and we grieve for humanity at the state that we find ourselves in today. For those individuals, this is a ticket to Jannah. My brothers and sisters, going back to the virtues and some of the benefits of trial and tribulation, my brothers and sisters, one of the benefits, and I'm going to end with this one, Izzuddin bin Abdul Salam says that when trial and affliction, they come to a community, it brings out the best in them. This is one of the benefits that he mentions in his list of 17. That in times of trial, in times of tribulation, in times of affliction, in times of hardship, this brings out the best in humanity. And he quotes a saying of the Prophet Isa, Jesus, peace be upon him, alayhi salatu wassalam. كان يقول ولا تنظروا في ذنوب الناس كأنكم أرباب. Your job is not to look at the sins of humanity like you are their creator. وانظروا في ذنوبكم كأنكم عبيد. Your job is to reflect internally and look at your own sins, understanding your status in front of your Lord, that you are His servant. فإنما الناس مبتلا ومعافى. This is, again, he's quoting Isa alayhi salam. That people are of two types. Some people find themselves being tested, and others find themselves in a state of bliss. The job of the people who find themselves in a state of afiyah, in a state of bliss, is to help those who find themselves in a state that they are being tested by their Creator. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه رحمكم الله إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I request everybody please remain seated and stay behind and listen to what the Honorable Premier has to say.
Intolerance still exists, and we must be vigilant as a community, as a Muslim community, as a Christian community, as people of faith from around the world who come to British Columbia and Canada to continue their practices, to continue to be part of a caring, loving society. We must always be mindful that hate exists, intolerance exists. of different faiths, from different perspectives, from around the world. The strength of British Columbia and the strength of Canada is our diversity. And in these difficult times, I find comfort and hope in people coming together to worship, coming together to be reminded of the humanity that we all share. I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to be here today. I thank the Muslim community. I worship and I weep with the Muslim community today around the world as we look inward to ourselves, into our neighbors, into our place where we live, our community, to find the hope for our children and our grandchildren and our children's grandchildren. That is the hope of humanity. That is the hope of us in this terrestrial place. As the Imam said, we have one thing in common: we will all leave this world. And we keep that at the front of our minds as we think about how we can work together in harmony and peace for a better British Columbia. That is my hope for the people here today. That is my hope for people around British Columbia. That is my hope for the people of the world. Love triumphs over hate. Tolerance always defeats intolerance. Respect for everyone is what we all should be guided by, and I certainly feel that today here in the mosque, and I take it away for the rest of my day, and the rest of my days as Premier. I want you to know that as long as I am in power, I will do my level best to ensure that when hate raises its head, I will stand against that. When intolerance raises its head, I will stand against that. I know the people assembled here today and the people of British Columbia share that view. Thank you very much. It's the strength of our community is when we come together in these times. Good. So much. No, job, thanks. Yeah. Appreciate it. Thanks, man. Always been a hand. Good. Man? Thank you. Not at all. Not at all. No, thank you. Yeah, wait. Thank you. Yeah. Very good. Tell your parents to hang up on them. And be at peace. And be at peace. Yeah. I appreciate your kind
Take a picture.
You bet. Sure thing.
Want to go to Salam? Yeah. Okay. Next. Good. All right.
Where are we looking?
I don't know. We just got the main camera.
Okay.
Get first over here then. The last time I see you was
This afternoon did do a lot for the congregation.
Good. Well,
they feel supported. They feel that they're at home. So thank you.
Good. Well, if there's anything I can do in the future, by all means, I know people can know how to contact me, and I'm happy to help in any way I can. So I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity. Okay.
All right.
Take care. Bye now. Thanks.